So that actually leads us on to the first thing that I thought it'd be nice to talk about tonight, which is happiness. Because there's been a groundbreaking study about what makes us feel good and how that's changed since 1938. That was when it was pre the Second World War, and it was done in Bolton at the time, and they did it again in Bolton recently. And they found that the top three then, what people were looking for was economic security, education and religion, whereas now it's good humour, leisure and economic security, and religion are right at the end of the list. So now it's having a laugh and plenty of leisure. Do you find that that's the sort of thing that people are seeking for when they come to you, Kate?
Not specifically, but you can understand the change. I mean, back then, especially in the 30s, even though we're in bad, supposedly economic times now, people's lives were a lot harder, and it was all about survival and money. You didn't have the indulgence that we have now to be able to have the leisure time that hopefully a lot of us aspire to and can have. And so it makes sense that we're going to be looking for more enjoyable things that we couldn't have indulged in the past. And of course, education is still fairly important, but religion has obviously gone way down on people's levels of importance. Maybe spirituality is a little bit more there, but I think there's so many different things that create happiness and that bring happiness into life, and you can list all sorts of things. Good relationships is happy relationships, whether it's family or marital or whatever, or friendships is one of the most important things. Fulfillment, having a sense of meaning in life, having something that you're doing that you enjoy, not being bored. And then there's a whole load of many little things, from the smelling the roses idea. And what I found very interesting when I used to live in South Africa, of course you come across a lot of people whose lives compared to ours are really, really tough. And you have such admiration for them because they're probably living in some horrible little shack, maybe away from their own country because they're immigrants looking for work. They might have an abusive husband. There's a lot of violence in their communities. So they're often frightened, a lot of rape, for example. So they have some really tough time. They'll often commute hours and hours for work. Yeah. And yet they laugh so much.
Yes.
And they're inspiring.
Yes.
And they will giggle. Yeah. And that childish glee will come out of them. And whatever's happening, they can have a laugh. So I think laughter is a great key. And it's been known to help for people who even cancer patients. Laughter in hospitals is obviously something that's very important. Bringing clowns into the children's ward, for example. But keeping yourself upbeat is really important. But there's a chemical side to it as well, because obviously it all comes down to neurology. Some people are going to be chemically more prone to having maybe higher levels of serotonin, etc. But building, one of the things I work with clients is moving them from their primitive survival mechanism, that part of their brain that is it has to be negative, it's always negative, and moving them into their solution-focused, positive intellect, the part of them that can look forward, can be forward-thinking, and be positive. And that's where hypnotherapy is so helpful.